come swiftly, this moment that will be spoken of for ages. The day the Herald of Andraste challenged the Darkspawn that thought itself a god. Defeat him, and you'll be more than a holy woman to the people. You'll enter legend.
If it's true, may the Maker judge me worthy of the honor.
And there is the modesty people respect. People joined the Inquisition after hearing you were blessed, but they've stayed because of how you lead. I wanted to tell you that I shared their sentiments, Inquisitor, and... well, I suppose I just did.
You've always been there for us, Josephine. And for me.
It means much to hear you say that. Farewell, my lady. When you face Corypheus, may you walk in the light.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an ancient rune where you consumed a pool of elfiness, and then walked through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
I wish I had been with you at the Temple of Mythal. I could have warned you.
Warned me?
You gave yourself into the service of an ancient elven god!
What does that mean exactly?
You are Mythal's creature now. Everything you do, whether you know it or not, will be for her. You have given up a part of yourself.
I have not become Mythal's slave.
Not yet. But if you remove the layer of nostalgia from stories of the elven gods, you might see the danger. They were arrogant and fickle. They warred amongst themselves. They had feuds, vendettas. And you are bound to one of them now. I suppose it is better you have the power than Corypheus. Which leads to the next logical question. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'll use whatever power I have to undo the chaos that Corypheus and his allies have caused.
You would put things back the way they were before?
Yes. I mean, not exactly.
I know what you mean. Thank you.
For what?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You honor the past and work to recover what was lost, even if the cost is high. I respect that. And I am indebted to you for the reminder. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
Thank you, Solus. We couldn't have done this without you.
You are welcome.
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tevinter. Once this is done. If we're still alive. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
How does this relate to the Elven Temple?
That elf, Abelas. He said the Imperium wasn't what destroyed the elves. My people would never accept that. It would reduce us to scavengers, destroy our legacy no matter how terrible. But we should accept it. Take our history down a peg. Confront the legacy hanging over us like a shroud. Maybe not all of us want to, but that could be altered. If you can change minds, so can I.
You're not doing nothing, Dorian. You came here. You're fighting with us.
Thank you for saying that. I want to do more than stop Corypheus, however. I want to save my home. It might surprise you to know that you're the one who inspired me. You're shaping the world, for good or ill. How could I aspire to do any less? If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's hope even for my homeland, I would do anything.
It's been quite the momentous day, hasn't it, my dear? How do you feel? It's not every day one absorbs ancient elven magic.
I've never felt better. I feel ready to take on Corypheus.
Glad to hear it, my dear. No doubt there will be side effects later, but one thing at a time. The pieces are nearly in place. We'll soon strike against Corypheus directly. You've done well. I will be proud to fight alongside you when the time comes.
So if we kill Corypheus, he has the power to move from one tainted creature into another? What we will learn next? That he can command the sun to rise or the seas to burn?
No matter how powerful he is, there's a way to defeat him, and we'll find it.
I hope you're right. I have researchers scouring the Temple of Mythol as we speak. I hope that their search turns up something we can use. Ancient magic, perhaps. Something even Corypheus missed. Anything to give us an edge.
Anything I should know?
It's been a long road, but we're nearing the end. Calpurnia's loss has left the Venatori demoralized. They'll be easy to eliminate.
Anything I should know?
Having the Templars join the Inquisition has done wonders for our reputation. The people trust the Templars, and now they trust us.
I do not like having that mirror, Illuvian, in Skyhold. Corypheus may not be able to travel through it, but what if something else can?
I don't think Morrigan would keep it here if that were true.
Yes, Morrigan said as much when I asked her.
Oh?
She said I was unreasonable, then offered to explain how the Illuvian works using words with less than 4 syllables.
Ah.
The Circle had a library. I'm fairly well read.
Right.
I'm not unreasonable.
Is there anything I should know?
I fear letting Calpurnia go was a mistake, but no harm has yet come of it.
Is there anything I should know?
I believe Dagna has settled in well. She's certainly very cheerful.
Is that a bad thing?
I'm concerned she'll cheerfully blow up Skyhold with one of her experiments. The risk is small at present.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Leliana?
Her spirits have been higher since Valence. Leliana was always driven, but she seems more confident now. Also, my messengers are less frightened of her. Not that they ever admitted to any fear.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
They have more than proven themselves. I'm proud to serve as their commander.
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The Archdemon might have been a real threat to our army, but it flew off once we turned the tide. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
We'll deal with whatever he throws at us.
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, and you have yet to fight him one-on-one. But he will come. You will get your chance.
You don't seem concerned about that.
I'm terrified. Yet I have faith in you. Not long ago, this was impossible to imagine. You, a valued friend, victory close at hand. The time has come to consider what will come next.
You'll be the next divine, I assume.
That has not happened yet.
But it may.
If the Maker wills it, then yes, I will answer his call. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. You have come far, my friend. It has been an honor.
He meant to watch forever. He called himself Sorrow.
The servants are having trouble remembering some odd events. Someone stole an entire cheese wheel.
Mice like cheese.
Do mice also like bowls of crushed mint?
That was for the cats.
So the cheese lures the mice, and the mice lure the cats, and then they smell the mint.
Mint makes the cats dance and play.
Oh, hi, yeah? Listen, stand there. Right there. Now, about Mythal.
Sarah, whatever's wrong, we can talk about it.
Oh, don't piss yourself. I just wanted to make sure it was you in there. I mean, you went wading into a well of sorrows. Who hears that and thinks, well, Dunkerbutt, let's have a go? Even mad old Abelas said elves destroyed themselves. The only believable bit in a sea of clear demon bait. It makes messing with their relics real stupid. So, test done, you're still you. We can leave these lies behind.
How is aiming an arrow at my face a test?
I heard once that if you're possessed, the demon will defend itself against attack. Sounds stupid to say it out loud. I don't know. I don't know demons. At least, if it's true, the arrow's right there. I'm sorry, yeah? Morrigan's probably got better ways, but who can trust her?
You never do that to me again.
Fine, all right. Sorry I don't know how to deal with rubbish no one was meant to.
You seem pretty certain. You don't believe anything from Mythal.
Course not. What, I should believe all that stuff? Because elves? I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what? There can't be a bunch of gods, and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by dead people who failed. Mythal is a ruin full of demons. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
There's so much history there. What if some of it is true?
No, now you're stupid. You can't think that because it's stupid.
But everything we saw.
Why believe it? Because Abelas looked weird? If that's all it takes, Cariffi's shitheel is full of lumpy truth. You're not even an elf. Why are you being so damned elfy? You're the frigging herald of Andraste. Every time you open your mouth, you'll sound like an idiot.
People need to understand what this could mean.
No, they don't. 1,000 miles away, all they'll hear is you won. They won't care what you mutter to yourself. And neither do I. So there you go.
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? That's easy. We're good at killing shit. Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
It's been an honor, Bull.
Oh, don't get like that. This isn't goodbye. We're kicking this guy's ass.
Most of the charges are still at the Temple of Mythal. I missed a crazy fine.
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the charges?
Most of our people were at the Temple of Mythal. I've still got a few, though. Men who are recovering from wounds. I can send them around to rattle swords, wave flags, and look a lot larger than they are. It'll mess with enemy estimates of our numbers, so no one thinks Skyhold is undermanned.
Of all the things in the world, a demon who wears someone's face. I imagine it makes trusting others risky.
Without trust, how would we build alliances? Or friendships?
It's easy to speak well of trust when yours has never been misplaced.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Cassandra hasn't forgiven me for the lie. I think the worst of the anger has passed. It's just disappointment now, and that's worse.
What do you think of my advisors?
Leliana is lonely. That's really all I see. All she has is her work. I pity her sometimes, as odd as that may seem.
What do you think of my advisors?
Leliana is lonely. That's really all I see. All she has is her work. I pity her sometimes, as odd as that may seem.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Don't play Diamondback with Solus. You've been warned.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not.
He won't hide.
You hear it? The well speaks to you.
It's voices, whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
I'm doing all I can, Morrigan. It'll have to be enough.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon isn't an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed. That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon... There is a way, but I'll need Morrigan's help.
The voices from the well tell you that, do they? Very well, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready to begin this plan of yours.
Are you certain of this?
We have no choice. If Corypheus comes here now...
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
Someone's been here.
I doubt they left all their stuff here out of charity.
It's strange that I can understand that.
A spell of comprehension, perhaps. Amazing that it still functions.
It's... warm.
Juicy, too. Pleasant.
All part of a ritual, I'd say. Whoever that belongs to, they're not dead. Not really.
Another one of the explorers.
Took his chest and crawled into a corner to die.
Careful. Bringing those organs here, putting them back together. Who knows what will happen?
So that was the High Priest of the Temple.
Rather sad if you think about it.
I trust all is well.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
Do you have any advice for me?
Treat Dorian with caution. It's possible he could be what he seems. A Tevinter mage wishing to do better than his countrymen. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition appear to have questionable allies.
Do you have any advice for me?
Watch the treasury carefully, with that Sarah present.
You think she's here to rob us?
Possibly not, but I would hardly put it past her.
Do you have any advice for me?
It's good that you recruited Enchanter Vivian into the Inquisition. She is ambitious, but has always shown sense in her dealings with the Chantry. My advice would be to watch her, but heed her when she speaks. That one wastes no words.
Do you have any advice for me?
Nothing that you could not think of yourself, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor?
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the Chargers?
You sealed the main rifted adamant, but the fortress is still a mess. Demons, darkspawn, making knows what. I could take Rocky out there with some of the boys. They know how to bring down walls. We can't close rifts, but we can bury the bastards under a ton of rubble.
Can we talk about the Bull's Chargers?
Certainly. What can I tell you?
Have you had any other interesting jobs?
This old Legion guy paid us to clear out some bandits who'd taken over his mine. We got in, took down most of them, and had just reached their leader when the mine collapsed around us. Turns out the bandits were working for the Elysian guy, and he wanted to cover up their agreement. The bandits passed around shovels. We all got to digging. Tracked a lot of dirt into that Orlesian's bedroom.
You wanted to see me?
Bull! I got it!
Yeah, my soul's dust. Yours is scattered all over the ground, though, so... Sorry, boss. I thought I might need backup. Guess I'm not even worth sending professionals for.
You knew the assassins were coming?
Little change in the guard rotation tipped me off.
Why didn't you tell me ahead of time?
You go through years of Ben Hasrith training to hide facial expressions when I wasn't looking? See? Like that. If I'd warned you or the guards, the assassins would have been tipped off.
Are you all right?
Fine. Hurt myself worse than this fooling around in bed.
What if they used poison?
Oh, they definitely used poison. Sarcomec, liquid form. If I hadn't been dosing myself with the antidote, I'd be going crazy and puking my guts up right now. As it is, it stings like shit. But that's about it.
I hoped the Ben Hasrath would let you go.
They did. Sending 2 guys with blades against me? That's not a hit. That's a formality. Just making it clear that I'm Talva Shoth. Talva fucking Shoth.
Are you going to be all right?
It's a knife wound, boss. I think I'll live. I'm fine. Thanks. Anyway, I'll get this cleaned up and let Red know what happened. Boss, whatever I miss, whatever I regret, this is where I want to be. Whenever you need an ass kicked, the Iron Bull is with you.
Love seeing you, yeah?
Are things playing out the way you expected?
Everyone's ready to punch Corypheus in the dangle bag. That's what you call it. Metaphor.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Again with your people? Right, which ones?
What do you think about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
No, not messing with Leliana. Pretty, but wow. Just bards, right? Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And you're Cullen Woolen.
Cully Woolly.
Lots of men under him. Needs a woman over him. Because positions.
A breath-caught smile from the Enchanter as the candle lights. The walls are safe. She will never be hungry again.
How would you like to get out of here? Maybe do something fun?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Come on.
Inquisitor, you honor us with your presence. Will you be dining alone, your worship, or will others be arriving later?
I may have a friend joining me.
Very good, your worship. Right this way, please. Please enjoy your meal this evening, your worship.
You can tell her. She'll laugh and then do it because she loves you. She wants to make you happy.
You saw something in him that needed a word of encouragement.
He wants his wife to tie his hands to the bedposts, little silk ribbons. He worries she'll hate him. She only said it because she was jealous of your shoes. Remember his hand on your waist as the music swelled. So many little hurts, even here, away from blood and battle. I wouldn't have heard them before. Now I can, thanks to you.
So you help them with a few whispered words?
The right words. Plus what I am, a little of me making the happiness stronger, so the pain fades. I don't steal the pain. The nightmare demon at Adamant did that. It made them less so it could grow. I help them heal. They never need to know I was here. You've made me better.
It was my pleasure.
Remember old Maurice, too proud to forgive, gnarled hands clutching the back of an empty chair? Find another path. There was someone, before. He was my friend, but he didn't know what I was. When he found out, he changed. I lost him. You found out, but you didn't change. Didn't make me change. You let me be this, be more. Thank you for helping me find this again, for believing in me. You don't know what it means.
I have an inkling, and you're welcome.
You don't need to. It used to help, but it doesn't anymore. Let it go. You were scared, trying to show them you were strong. Find him. Tell him you're sorry. The woman in the red dress thinks you would look good naked. She wants someone to compliment her hat. They will never know, but I know, thanks to you.
If I may share something else with you, there are strange glyphs inscribed in the stones of this place, revealed only with field fire, although they are elven in origin. I cannot make out their purpose. Perhaps they will mean something to you.
I found something about Red Crossing in Danan Hanin.
If you went to the Emerald Graves, did you see Tavin and the others?
They were killed. I'm sorry.
I am too. Sorry, but not surprised. Thank you for bringing this to me. It is part of our tale, will be cherished.
A message from Divine Justinia.
That's a shock. You're right reading it.
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
You take your instructions from me? What sort of help can a dead Divine give you?
I don't know. Perhaps something to do with a chantry. Or it could be personal. She guided me for many years, Inquisitor, as a Divine and as a friend. There are days when I still look to her for advice, only to remember that I am alone.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the chantry in Valence. Try not to delay. It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother.
It's peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place.
It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Leliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of a most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear. I was in the cloister in Lothering when the Blight began. There was a lot of fear back then. No one knew what was going to happen, whether we would live or die. And then one morning, I found a single bloom on a dead rose bush. And I thought, even in the midst of all this, life finds a way. The Maker hasn't abandoned us. I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it? Well, that one's quite literal. And morbid. But Justinia always said that compassion was my greatest strength. Doubt is easy. It takes courage to trust. You must be careful, Natalie. Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne. What was that? Looks like we opened something. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Leliana, stop! What are you doing?
I'm protecting us. They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true Chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
We don't have to be at odds, Natalie. You could come with us, join the Inquisition.
I was called to serve the Grand Cleric. I will not betray her. Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
Release her, Leliana. She is no threat.
The Grand Cleric?
She is one woman. We are the Inquisition.
The Inquisitor has spoken. Run. Tell your mistress that she has a choice. The Inquisition is coming. No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The Divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me. Just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
If it were not for you, I would have killed Natalie and called it a good thing. Thank you for showing me what was right when I couldn't see it for myself. There are things that must be said, but not here. I will see you back at Skyhold.
If you've got questions, I'm your dwarf.
Tell me more about Bianca.
I'm not making any promises here. Ask.
What makes the Merchants Guild such a danger to her?
Well, to be fair, it's more of a danger to me. Technically, we're not supposed to be within 300 leagues of one another. If it got back to the guild that we were seen together, they'd freeze my assets and then have me killed. Maybe not in that order.
What in the world did you do to cause that?
We almost started a clan war. Does it matter? I can't change it now.
How do you know Bianca? The lady, I mean, not the crossbow?
I met her years ago when she still lived in Kirkwall, and I was looking for someone with, mechanical skills. Bianca is, beyond a doubt, the most brilliant smith you'll ever meet. I haven't seen her since she got married and moved to Orlais.
Bianca is married? Somehow I thought the two of you had a history.
Bianca's family are Kalnas, surface dwarves, so conservative they don't take a piss without asking the ancestors first. They picked out a smith caste boy for her. Wealthy, respected, has a great anvil collection. The perfect husband. I heard the wedding was lovely. The one Bianca actually showed up for, anyway.
All right, tell me the truth. Bianca made your crossbow, didn't she? I mean, it has her name.
It's not that simple. The Carta thinks my Bianca was a freak success by a Carta inventor who could never duplicate it. If they thought anyone else was involved, someone who could make one work, things would be bad. So, I really can't tell the story. I don't want any more blood on my hands.
So how long have the two of you been together?
Well, if you want to split hairs, we're not. Usually there's a continent between us at all times. We write letters. Now and then we manage to meet up. I don't know if that's together. Shit, it's been what, 15 years? Great. Now I feel old. Thanks.
Hello.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found an ancient dwarven tide no longer sheltered by the stone. An earthquake had exposed it all to daylight. 1,000 dwarven corpses lay, the victims of a darkspawn horde. Their last stand marked by one great ring of armor. In the middle, one small body, clutching tightly to a small stuffed toy.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
The Alamari crossed the Frostback Mountains to escape a beast they called the Shadow Goddess in their story. I met the spirit that they fled. She walks the Fade along the southern tundra, weeping lonely and forgotten, great for Elden formed, because a lonely spirit drove her prey away.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a dwarf emerge into the light of day and shield his eyes against the sun. The first time he had seen it, the tears were streaming from his eyes. I thought them from the blazing light, until I saw the rock he held so tightly. Then he laid the rock down gently, and he left it as he walked away.
What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Popular topic. Anything specific?
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah. That is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
You think slaves like it that way? Don't be ridiculous.
I didn't say they like it. It's all most of them know. In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
I suppose not. No.
I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
You've made such intriguing design choices for the castle, my dear. They must be inspired.
Thank you, Vivian. I'm glad you approve.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royo and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I suppose it's important to show we're an authority to be respected.
Not just respected, my dear. Awed, feared, aspired to. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a woman who commoners aspire to be, and to whom nobles bow.
That's quite a lot for one person to pull off, don't you think?
It is a challenge all great leaders must face, Inquisitor. The stories of your accomplishments will spread, and with them, doubt. Are you truly the woman from the tales? They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne.
I'm told that Ambassador Montillier is pleased with the restraint you showed in Valence.
She's positively beside herself. I will never hear the end of it. Niceness before knives, Leliana. Haven't I always told you?
Will that be all, my lady?
For now.
How have you been feeling since Valence?
Good. Wonderful. Valence was something of a rebirth for me. If you hadn't been with me at Valence, I would have killed Natalie. I'd have told you that I didn't have a choice. But there is always a choice. I am more than this. I am more than what Justinia made me.
Do you resent Justinia for what she did?
How can I when there is so much between us? When she gave her life for peace? No, I believe her intentions were pure. Most intentions are.
What does this mean for my Inquisition? Will you still be my spy master?
Of course. I would not give up my post. Not after everything we've built. I just know now that I shouldn't ignore my heart. Mercy is not always a weakness.
You've exceeded her. She could never have imagined the power you now hold.
And now I will know how to use that power wisely. I have to stay true to who I really am, before a spy master left hand or barred. I almost lost myself.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it.
Is there anything you actually know about the Wardens? Or did you make it all up?
I made very little up. I also feared you knew enough to contradict me. Warden Blackwall told me a bit before my initiation, but it is a secretive order. Not even the most senior wardens know all there is to know.
Now we know why you were never worried about Corypheus's calling.
Yes. I have none of the warden's abilities and none of the drawbacks. Still, I would have fought through the darkest pits of the deep roads like any true warden. There's more to it than being able to sense darkspawn. Warden Blackwall would have agreed.
You have a lot of respect for the Wardens.
They take all men, from the most noble to the most despicable, and make them equals. I needed to believe something like that was possible.
Why did Blackwall want to recruit you?
He never told me. I don't know what he saw that day besides some wreck starting a bar fight. That night, I taught some village militia a painful lesson about harassing the tavern girl. Didn't know I had an audience.
I can see why the Warden was impressed.
You're assuming my intentions were noble. Told the girl to keep the wine coming. She couldn't, not with those louts bothering her. Something had to be done.
There you are.
Were you waiting for me?
Yes. I mean, no.
I can come back later if you'd prefer.
No. Please stay. We have some dealings in Ferelden. I was hoping you might accompany me. When you can spare the time, of course.
Is something wrong?
What? No. I would rather explain there, if you wish to go.
I believe there's time now.
I will make the necessary arrangements.
Where are we?
You walk into danger every day. I wanted to take you away from that, if only for a moment. I grew up not far from here. This place was always quiet.
Did you come here often?
I loved my siblings, but they were very loud. I would come here to clear my head. Of course, they always found me eventually.
You were happy here.
I was. I still am.
Alone with a mage. That doesn't concern you.
The Templars have rules on fraternization, but I'm no longer bound by them.
I know, but you've seen the worst mages have to offer. How can you not see that in me?
I don't. If I've given you reason to doubt... Of course I have. Whatever I fear of magic, I see none of that in you. The last time I was here was the day I left for Templar training. My brother gave me this. It just happened to be in his pocket, but he said it was for luck. Templars are not supposed to carry such things. Our faith should see us through.
Faith is stronger. It gets us through when luck fails.
I believe that. And yet, this was the only thing I took from Ferelden that the Templars didn't give me. Humor me. We don't know what you'll face before the end. This can't hurt.
I'll keep it safe.
Good. I know it's foolish, but I'm glad.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture. You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
The consequences of our dance continue to echo, Lady Floriane.
Despite her posture, Lady Floriane has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realize he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
She remains a creature of formality and opportunity. We have use for both. Grand Duchess, Josephine will see that your wiles profit the Inquisition. Don't disappoint.
Oh, one must remember that the game is never truly over, your worship.